Hey guys, Amy Luber here from Resilient Growth. I want to help you really get to the root cause of what may be causing some stress-related symptoms like chronic inflammation, chronic pain. If you have been in emotional trauma, this is the invisible stuff that the other people don't see. But inside, you're like, why do I have anxiety? Why does my body flare up and maybe you're getting like pinpricks on your skin, like that feeling of maybe neuropathy, but sometimes it just feels like your skin's crawling, or you feel like you just are gonna have really kind of a stroke. You can feel like that level of just inflammation, anxiety, the flood of emotions. If you have been in an abusive situation or dealt with difficult personalities, like been around narcissists, the problem is that you have endured that cycle of abuse, the cycle of gaslighting, of the confusion, of all of those things that really takes a toll on your nervous system. And this is what people oftentimes, unless they've gone through it, really don't understand. Doctors will try to treat symptoms. You might, like, I was in the ER the other day, and even me, I'm going through this myself, even as a trauma coach. I've been trained in all of this, but now walking through it, I'm learning so much, just experiencing the really deep healing that has to take place. So I want to help you really heal too. If you've been in these situations, if you've been through emotional betrayal, trauma from really difficult relationships, it has taken a toll on your body. It just does. It's not your fault. I want to validate your experience though, because that experience more than likely has made you feel like, oh my gosh, like what is wrong? You know, I can't seem to get out of it. Here's also the other thing that people don't realize unless they've been through this. When you leave that situation, that's when all the traumas of the past start popping up, because your body starts to relax. Your body is no longer living with that person that maybe has been so toxic. And so what happens is all of that repressed emotion, repressed traumas, all of those things that have been held in the cells, your body, believe it or not, holds that stuff at the cellular level, then it starts to surface. And you might feel like, wow, it's hard to get out of bed in the morning because my back hurts, or my hips hurt, or you have such deep pain in your body. And it's because your mind is trying to make sense of all the things that have happened that have been so hurtful for a longer period of time. If you have been around this for a very long period of time, in my case, it was 14 years, then it has taken an enormous toll, and your body has been in fight or flight mode, which dysregulates your big nerve in your body called the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve runs from your back of your head all the way down your body. It controls how everything reacts. So the other day when I was in the ER, I had this weird vein thing in my foot. I started to feel like I was gonna have a stroke. Like I was having all these feelings that were not good, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm going to the ER. I really don't want to, because I know at the source of trauma, it's usually this nervous system stuff, but I had to get checked out. So if you're going through anything that may be indicating like a stroke or any kind of pulmonary issue or anything that could be life-threatening, go to the ER, okay? Don't try to self-diagnose and do all that stuff. Really go to the ER. I did too, and I had them run all the scans and all of that, and they were really suspecting a blood clot. No blood clot. So the reason why I'm telling you all that is it goes back to, I went home and I started to do some vagus nerve exercises to just test it out. And like, I think this is what it is. I think it's this dysregulation from that. So here we are. I want to show you what really helped relieve me yesterday when it started to pop up again. I started to get inflammation. I'm going through a really big life change, and it's just many challenges piled on top of other challenges. It's many mountains that I'm moving all at once. So what does your body do? It tries to protect you, right? And so London here is going to be my assistant too as we show you this exercise. But essentially, you've got to start to re-regulate your nervous system, because it's been in fight mode for so long. It has been there to protect you, and it's still doing that. But if you have stress after stress after stress, even after the betrayal and the trauma and all of that, Trying to get out of the situation sometimes can even feel worse for a moment than being in the situation. But in the long term, you have to remember it's going to be the best thing for you down the road. So we got to get through this point in time where it feels like mountains are piled on top of mountains. When we relax our vagus nerve through some eye movement, you can also do things like, there's a belly button exercise I can show you down in a different video. I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to give you one exercise today that's going to help you really unlock that. If you're feeling a lot of tension, I noticed that, like, you know, like area that you call like the lady hump, like it feels like you have like a hump right here, you know, like right in the back of your neck, you know, that cervical curve. I noticed that was back. My cortisol was super high. I saw it on my skin, like all the things, right? For those of you that have gone through chronic stress and inflammation, you've had these symptoms. I know you have. And so you're not alone, and you don't have to live like this forever. But here's what it's going to take to be able to get you through it. So I'm going to lay down on my mat. Grab a mat if you have one, and we're just going to lay on our backs with our knees up. This is one of the simplest vagus nerve exercises you can do. And we're just going to move our eyes to one side of the room, stay there, allow our nerve to really sink into parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest. Then we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. When we do that, we're helping train our body and our nervous system to feel safe again, but we're also giving it a minute to adjust, to get out of that sympathetic side, which is that fight or flight side. And you might not even you've been maybe so used to feeling like, oh, I can thrive in stress and I'm good. Like I can get through hard things because every day has to be hard, right? When we start to rewire that thinking that every day doesn't have to be hard, that resting is a gift, it is part of high performance, and we can help our body heal in these different ways. You know, it really changes everything. And so I want to help you get to the root cause of that. So let's lay on our backs and let's just see how you feel after this one, okay? And then we'll go on to one other thing I wanted to share with you. All right, so lay on your back, and you're just going to, Linda's going to help me out. We're just going to really move look to the right side of the room to the ceiling. All the way to the right with your eyes. Take both eyes over to the right. We're going to just stay there for 30 seconds. Stay looking at the same spot. Allow your muscles to relax during this. You can tell yourself, I'm safe. Make sure you're breathing through the diaphragm. And now we want to do the same movement over to the left side. So take your eyes and look to the left corner of the ceiling that you're in, the room you're in. And allow yourself to really be in the present moment. Taking deep breaths in. Allowing your nervous system to do its job, which is right now, is to relax. You might feel some shifting of inflammation or fluid around as you're doing this. You might feel pressure leave your head if you've been in that state where it's felt very pressure-filled. We'll come right back to center. You can sit up after that. Now, as you do it before and after, think about how you felt before, think about how you now feel. For me, I can feel like muscles just kind of relax a little bit. My head feels clearer. It starts to regulate. Sometimes I have a lot of tinnitus, and I have that more so when I know my vagal nerve is really dysregulated. And so that is one of many exercises that you can do. The other thing that I want you to really do is start humming to yourself. I incorporate these little movements throughout my day, and right now, because I'm going through what I'm going through, I'm doing this on the dot every 2 hours in between meetings. And so what I like to do is, it's called bee's breath, but you put your fingers in your ears and you hum. Take a deep breath in through the belly and hum. One more round. You like that one, London? London likes that one. So that's called bee's breath, or hum. It's just humming, really. But that hum will massage your back so that it provides that sense of safety. Again, you're sourcing your own breath and your hum, and that vibration really is it's kind of like sourcing your own sound healing, if you will. And you'll feel that massage up and down your spine as your breath continues to hum along. It will just continue to do that. So do that several rounds. You can do that several rounds, and it really makes a huge difference. This is the process of retraining your nervous system after it's been broken down from stress, anxiety, toxic relationships, whatever has happened in your journey. I'm sorry that it's happened, but this is your road back to strengthening yourself and building capacity in your nervous system. So with that, I'm Amy Looper, the founder of Resilient Growth. You can click the link below to subscribe to this channel, and also subscribe to my regular emails. I send out these tips all the time because we're really suffering with an epidemic of chronic stress with people, and there's been a lot of relationship issues and everything else in the world going on, and so that takes a toll on our bodies. But here's the deal: we can do these small little holistic movements to make a huge impact on our livelihood and still thrive. We can still thrive despite our circumstances, because life comes from us. Life does not happen to us. We'll see you in the next one.